What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim back with another video review and unboxing. Today taking a look at a trigger kit for the PlayStation 5 controller, also known as the DualSense controller. Really excited to get my hand on this product. This is a trigger extension kit. It also includes some caps as well. I'll be taking a look at all of it. I want to mention before I get into today's video, I did receive this as a review copy. Keep that in mind as you hear my opinion on it. I think I'm a pretty reasonable guy, but I want to be upfront and honest. If you do like this product, go check it out on the Amazon store. I will post a link in the description box below where you can pick them up for yourselves should you like them. So the thing with PlayStation controllers is this. You have obviously haptic controllers, it's a lot of vibration. PlayStation has put a significant amount of effort into the travel of the back buttons here, the R2 and the L2. And a lot of games, Ratchet & Clank is a perfect example, Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, just to name a few, even Returnal, use these buttons as more than one button press. So what I'm saying is like there's a half button press to do something and then a full button press to do something else. If you're like me and you have a little bit bigger hands, when you're holding your controller, you feel almost like your finger, and let me try to get in the camera there, is like almost too close to the front. I wish when I got this controller, although it's hefty and as natural as it feels in my hands, I wish that this stick came out just a little bit further. It feels like a more natural grip for me to hold it here than it does for here. And I feel like, maybe, this controller kit was made for people like me. It also does support, it does have some overarching support in terms of the height as well. It's going to actually make the thing higher up as well, which may help for some grip as well. Although I got to admit, my fingers have never slid off the back of the R2 or the L2 triggers, but I'm really excited to get my hands on these and open them up with you and really do a test. So this video is going to be broken down in two parts. The first part is going to be me opening the package and assembling them on the controller. Then I will do a jump cut, and after a couple days, I will report back and I will tell you guys if they're good or not. I will play some games. I'll play some Black Ops Cold War and I'll try to beat Returnal and some other games, and I'll report back and let you guys know my thoughts and how the controller vibration feels, if it carries through well enough, if they feel good on your hands, and if it's something ultimately I recommend, all right? So let's go ahead and move this out of the way for now, and let's go ahead and take a look at this together. We'll go ahead and open it up. Not much to see here on the package. It's got thumb grips, trigger extenders, and a little grip on top. So let's go ahead and open these up together, and we'll look and see what we think. I always have such a hard time getting these things open, by the way, because usually what ends up happening is this. So I have to go get something sharp, but I have come prepared, and I can go ahead and rip these open for you here, and we'll go ahead and pull everything out and take a look at it together. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way, and we'll just keep opening and pulling and ripping out. As I'm doing this, I want to mention that, I do really like these end caps a lot for the thumb grippers. I've done a lot of videos on thumb grip sticks, and it's something that I really do believe in. I actually took mine off for the sake of this video, but I always use them. I find they help me immensely. Just in terms of overall grip, my finger doesn't feel as slimy on the stick. And also, it just feels more natural to me because it gives it a little bit of height. So here is the set unboxed. Something I noticed right away, actually, is the thumb grip here. They offer two different sizes. Now, I've done a lot of videos on the past on different thumb grip sizes. It has to do with the amount of travel on the stick. So if I'm holding the controller, here's a, let's try to get a good angle for you here. If I'm holding the controller and I'm playing, right? The amount of movement I have here is obviously never going to change. It's the amount of pressure. If I just barely touch this, the taller that this is, I'm going to have much more refined movement just on the fact that the torque and the control point of this is going to be higher up. Now, these are really tall. This is something like you would expect almost in like a game tournament. These sit incredibly high. And let me go ahead and see if I could put one on for you really quick. Basically, to assemble these, you have to pull this piece back here with your hands, and you have to kind of work it over the stick. So I'm gonna do it over here where I got a little bit more grip, because I don't think I could reach that far based on my camera setup. And there we go. I'm going to move these off to the side here. You get a video. Actually, let's do it like that. There you go. It doesn't look much different from the top, obviously, but from the side, but from the top, wow. That is a major extended grip. This would be good for a sniping game. I have seen Control Freaks, Mad Cats, to name a few companies that have added things like this. This is a solid chunk of rubber with grips on it. This sits really high, and man, just the amount of control I can already feel that I have by moving this. This is a lot. I don't typically snipe with games though. I don't know if something like this is going to work for me personally, but we'll go ahead and take a look. On the back here, so let's look at the R2 here together. It looks like there's a little piece of adhesive they want you to use to slide into place. So I'll go ahead and do that. And we'll take a look at how that works. I assume it's just, yeah, basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to pull off this piece here. So it looks like there's a sticker piece here, and then you're just going to tack it down. And you're going to do that, it looks like, on all four. You have two L2s, and actually not all four, I'm sorry. Two in the front, two in the back, or two different sizes. I can't talk today. These do not include any buttons here. Obviously, if you extended this piece here, it would carry over, so that makes pretty good sense that you're only going to be focusing on the back. So it depends on if you want to have a grip more like this. Let's see if I can just hold them up just so you can get a mock-up. Or like this, just to get an idea. There are different contour sizes. This one comes to more of a point. This one is more of kind of a flat curve. And I can definitely tell, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this point does stick out a little bit farther. Now, they don't clip in. They actually, there is adhesive to actually hold them in place. So I will go ahead and take a look at these and put them on. Give me a brief second and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. Just to go ahead and get a full and complete picture, I went ahead and put one of each type on each stick. So super easy. Obviously I did it off camera, but all you're gonna do is remove this sticker here. It's got some adhesive underneath, and you just press it down and hold for about 5 seconds or so, and it makes a nice tight seal on the controller. So now you can see I have an extended grip way out here as opposed to the standard, was probably about here where the tip of my finger is. So you could see how much extension I got on both of these here. Now, keep in mind when you do have this, and the reason I am showing it on a controller stand now, when you lay this down on its back, these things do stick out quite a bit. You can see here how far they do stick out. So when you try to set it down on the table, I can't really show without moving the camera, it wants to put a significant, at least on this one in particular, a significant amount of pressure down. So I do have a controller stand where I can actually sit it on the stand. That way there's no pressure on the back of these. I wonder if without a controller stand over time, if you're gonna really loosen this connection or not. I don't really know. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put one of these back on, and I'm gonna go ahead and try all these configurations. So I'm gonna be playing with one here that's a little shorter, one here that's definitely longer, the long scope piece here, and then I didn't really talk too much about it, but they did include a smaller grip there. So 4 different kind of things that come in this kit. I'm gonna try them all, and I will report back. It'll be a jump cut at some point in the next day or two. For you, it'll be seamless. Talking about my thoughts on whether or not I can recommend this and whether or not it actually held up, because I'm gonna be playing a lot of Call of Duty this weekend. So I'm gonna stop the video here, and I will be back very, very soon. All right, guys, the results are in. I spent most of the weekend playing Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, and surprisingly a lot of racing games because I fell in love with this tall right analog stick. This thing absolutely changed the way that I snipe in games, and it made driving games a pure joy because you have so much more play the taller this stick is. For precision sniper shots or precision drifting, I had a really, really good time with this, and I really, really enjoyed using it. So alone, if you're asking me would I recommend you buy this kit, I want to say it's like $10, $12. The fact that it comes with 2 of these sticks, and I'm going to go ahead and take it off so you can see, It is a rubber grip entirely, and the inside is rubber. It's not the hard plastic. The problem I have with Control Freak, which is definitely one of the bigger competitors, is it's a hard piece of plastic that actually clips underneath the stick. And if you keep taking it on and off, you will absolutely damage the stock rubber on this. This is not meant for a hard abrasive plastic to be sliding on and off. But because this is a rubber grip and you fold it just like any other control cap upside down and it just snaps around on top of the stick, I cannot recommend this piece alone enough. And considering Control Freak will run you about $15 to $20 just for a pair of these, I think this product is absolutely worth it just for this alone. Now, it also does come with, and I still have it on here, you probably can tell a little bit, I do still have the texture grip on the other piece, and it works just fine. I love controller grips, as I said earlier. They are super easy to take on and off. They do absolutely no damage to the base analog stick, and they feel great. So I totally recommend those as well. The triggers, as you can see, the triggers actually stayed on. I gotta be honest, I was a bit skeptical over the weekend, and I thought, you know what? I play a lot of games. The way that these things are just adhesive laying directly on the top, the fact that the way that the PlayStation DualSense controller, the way that the buttons are so smooth down the side, you could not do something like I wish they would do in Control Freak, for example, where it actually wrapped around the trigger, because I was really worried that as if I push down on this, I'm like, no way, this thing is not going to hold. It's going to get loose. I'm putting so much pressure on the far end, particularly in a racing game where you're constantly tapping it very, very rapidly on and off the gas into turns, or in Call of Duty, you're constantly shooting your weapons. A lot of weapons, particularly sniper rifles, do have a lot of tension. That's part of the way that this control stick works, that on harder weapons, you have to really pull it down to get a shot off. It's by design. I was afraid that this wouldn't support, and I am 100% wrong. They are still on, they are still rock solid, and they work. Taking them off, which I haven't done yet, I suspect will be a bit of a chore because the adhesive is pretty strong. Now, basically, think of it's not like a glue. It's more like a gel that does kind of roll together. And I suspect, because I looked at the ones that I didn't use, I took one of the stickers off to look. My only concern with these would be if you decide you don't want them, whether or not it's because they eventually would fall off, I assume, because no adhesive lasts forever, or because you just don't like the feel of them. I suspect it will leave some residue on your DualSense controller. I suspect a light amount of rubbing alcohol will most likely take it off, but I just want you to be aware that it is not a clean rubber solution like this that just snips, just rubbed it, that just kind of pops on and pops off. This is actually an adhesive that holds these two pieces together. That said, I love the feel of a longer stick, a longer trigger rather, and for the exact same reason that I love this control topper is the same reason that I prefer the longer one of these two as opposed to the shorter one of the two, because I felt like when my finger was way out on the back of the controller out here, I had so much more control over my accelerator pedal in racing games as opposed to what I had. And I think the DualSense by default did a really good job when it comes to the actual length. But the fact that you get pretty much, I'm going to say almost double length from what the, I don't know, hopefully that's getting into focus, double length from what the original stick was, from the travel there, that is actually quite impressive. I like this a lot. I don't know if I would use them every day on every game, if that makes sense, but they're on now, so I'm going to stick with them literally until either the adhesive starts to go or I just decide at some point I don't want them anymore. But considering what you're getting in this kit, considering you're getting two full sets of these, 2 full sets of the small grips, and 2 full sets of the tall grip, it's absolutely worth it in my opinion. Do some price shopping, compare tall thumbstick grips from Control Freak. Mad Catz also makes a solution. Compare them to this and think about what I said if you're going to take them on and off a lot. You would not use this in an action adventure game. If you were playing Ratchet and Clank or Spider-Man Miles Morales on your PlayStation 5, you would not use this. It's just not that comfortable in a normal action adventure type game. Racing games or shooting games, absolutely. So you're going to be taking these on and off unless you have multiple controllers where you have like, this is my racing controller, which I doubt you're going to have, right? You're going to have one DualSense like most everybody else. So keep that in mind. I think you're going to like this solution better. So that wraps up my review. As I said, there's a link in the description box below to get your very own if it's something you're interested in. If not, let me know if there's any other great alternatives out there. But I think this one actually is pretty serviceable, and it's at a pretty competitive price. So hope you guys found this video review informative. Leave some comments below. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.